Hi, I'm Carl Schilling, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Advocacy Network. And today I wanted to briefly go over some very, very important things with you. Before we get started, I want you to realize that this will be a fully interactive video, so you from time to time may see some buttons come up. And when you see one of those buttons, you're able to download a document or link on to an area we want you to go to. The other thing is you will also see a soft phone, and when the soft phone is up, you can dial your number into the soft phone, and that will directly connect to me so we can speak directly. All right, now today I wanted to share with you real briefly and real quickly why you want to have the Advocacy Network protecting you. As this video is titled your best interest is our only concern, and that's the way that we work together. Okay, now so far we have saved the public over $10 million to date. Okay, now that has been a mission to eliminate all forms of financial victimization. And we do this by creating awareness, providing financial literacy education, which is always free. We do it in the form of workshops. We're getting ready to create a 3D, totally interactive virtual world where you don't even have to leave home, or wherever you are, you can participate as long as you have a laptop or some form of phone or some device. Okay, now the last part to that is we want to help people become financially independent. Now today I wanted to talk to you about something very specific. I just turned 64, and therefore I am in this coming wave of the so-called senior market and the senior market solutions. Now let me share with you, we work hard every day to eliminate all forms of financial victimization, and when I started that, it was basically for the senior market, because seniors seem to be the most that are manipulated and preyed upon by the financial services industry, as well as the scammers and the direct fraudsters. Now, over $250 billion a year is lost directly to all forms of financial victimization. Now, only a third or so of that is from scams and fraud, really illicit behaviors. The other, almost 2/3, comes from manipulative predatory sales tactics, meaning it's totally legal, it's totally acceptable. However, it does not help you in the long run, and it becomes a source of financial victimization. Now, the senior market is riddled with this problem. As you will see constantly, there's many things that are for agents' eyes only. You have so many agents, over 1 million insurance agents in the country. However, I'd say directly into the senior market, let's say 250,000 or so are in that senior market. And what they love to do is get on board in the hot seasons, which comes up when you're 64 and older, on your way to certain decisions that are going to totally dictate the results of your fourth quarter of life. Now, as you enter that fourth quarter of life, these financial decisions are things that need to be made somewhere between the age of 64 and 66 or 67, or a little later if you want to hold out on Social Security. That's another discussion, by the way, whether you want to hold out or not on Social Security. There's so many moving parts that would determine whether you should collect your Social Security now or wait. Now, from the Medicare side, you have no choice but to enter into the Medicare at age 65, and a little before you can start to make that decision on whether you are going to have you're going to supplement the things that are not covered through Medicare and some of those gaps, or you are going to basically use what's called a Medicare Advantage, which is usually a zero premium scenario, and either an HMO or in some areas a PPO, which would make it a very unique and excellent choice. But again, those are decisions that need to be made together with a financial professional like us, who's an advocate, who is only concerned about your best interest. We're not concerned about how much a product pays in a commission. We're not concerned about which company we have to give more production to because we've got a contest going on, or there's a cruise, or there's a potential benefit for me if I give it to XYZ carrier. None of those things. We don't have any agent only information. Our financial concierges are trained, coached, and developed for one thing and one thing only: to be an advocate. That's why we call it a financial concierge. As an advocate, their only concern is your best interest. So all these decisions that happen at 64, 65, 66, these are decisions that last a lifetime. So you need to make good, solid decisions. And again, you can't really procrastinate on them and sit around waiting because you're worried about pulling the trigger and making a decision. No. When you work with us, you have the full feeling of sense of safety. Again, we've saved people almost $10 million in eliminating all forms of financial victimization. So we are a safe haven. The people who work together with us, the professionals that we train and develop, they wouldn't be with us unless they do the right things. Now, do we have to offset and use services around the country through some carriers and different people? Yes, we do. But we control those relationships. We control them for you. We, again, are fully transparent. We are in this to make sure that your best interest is taken care of. And myself, as a 64-year-old getting ready to make these same very decisions, it's really the perfect time for me to work with people who are in that same age bracket. I'm no different than you, and I certainly would not have myself or any of our financial concierges make a decision that I wouldn't make personally for me and my family. That's the truth of the matter. You would get the same counseling and advice that I give to myself or to my family or to anybody around me. The same with the financial concierges. So why do you want to do business with us? Well, again, we're fully transparent. Our only concern is the best interest of you and your family. That's it. We're not worried about what the commission rates are. We're not worried about how much revenue we can produce. We're not worried about the next contest. We're not worried about a carrier relationship. We are not concerned with any of those issues. The only issues we're concerned is getting you the right solution at the right time through the right process and the right service carrier. That's it. Whatever fits you perfectly is what we want to provide for you. So we are a safe haven. And because we are tied with the Advocacy Network, and because that's our relationship with you, you know that when you come to us, you are going to be 100% guaranteed that you are protected and taken care of. You will not face any sales manipulation, you won't face any pressure, and you certainly won't be given misinformation or bad information or directly misled. And I can't say that for everybody else in the industry. I just can't. I'd like to, but I'm not here to badmouth anybody else. I'm just here to tell you that one of the biggest financial victimizations that exist in our society today are people who are manipulative and predatory in their selling of financial services products to seniors. Huge market. And it can be done right, and I would say probably the majority of the people do it right. However, I promise you with us, it's done right. But it's also fully transparent. You are not going to be denied any information that an agent would see that you're not supposed to see. Just won't happen. 95% of all that information is usually predatory in nature and manipulative, and that's the reason the companies don't want the public to see it. Sad but true. So anything that can be seen by an agent can predominantly be seen by the public for the most part. Occasionally there's some discussion about interest rates or something that has to be non-public. However, that's it. That's it. And it certainly does not impact the Medicare decisions that you have. Now, lastly, there are some other decisions that are very important with you, which have to do with your retirement and moving towards your fourth quarter of life. The best of those decisions, in order for you to maximize not having your Social Security suddenly turn taxable, not having to pay more for your Part B Medicare premiums, which people are not even aware of. All of these are means tested, and based on the income that you create and the income streams that you develop that would be taxable, they impact your Social Security and they impact your Medicare Part B. Now, there is a way to have certain types of income that do not impact that. And this is what you need to be identified and set up, okay? Because when you take money out of, say, a 401k or any qualified plan, normally the distribution of that income is going to be ordinary income, and ordinary income is part of the means test. But when you're able to take non-taxable income or tax advantaged income, there are many, many ways to do that and still be in retirement, still be distributing your retirement funds. But these things need to be discussed. They need for you to understand and be totally aware of what all of the rules, regulations, and laws, hold for you. And then lastly, you need to be able to make those decisions with a very, very strong peace of mind to know that you've set this thing up properly. That's what we do. And that's what we can do. And that's what we will do. So please, as you see the things come up, there'll be some links, you'll see some buttons. Please take the documents when they're available. Also, go out to the sites that we may push you out towards, or whatever that may be, okay, so you can get some information. And lastly, feel free, please put your number into the soft phone, your own number. It'll ring and it'll dial me direct. I'd love to have a conversation with you to tell you exactly what we do, how we get started, and how to maximize this whole thing. It's a big time of the year coming, and you're going to be bombarded. If you are turning 65 this month or next month or the month after or throughout the fourth quarter, if you're turning 65, you are getting ready to be bombarded. And the white noise is going to be unmerciful. We want to separate you out of that white noise. You don't need to hear all that white noise, and you don't need to listen. All you need to do is call me. Let's get you set up. We'll get you a financial concierge whose only concern is your best interest, and that stands behind us as a third-party endorsement. And the proof is in the pudding. We've already saved, closing in on $10 million for the public. So we are your safest and best alternative to these decisions that are facing you right now. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to speaking to you real soon.